Hi everyone, we are here in Cambodia. Well, most of you, I think, are pretty cold in America, but we arrived here in Cambodia January 15, and we spent a few days to adjust to the culture, the climate, and spend some time with people and friends and family that we've mentored over time and with teammates. And then we hit the ground running and came here to Kampot, where we live and where we have Lina's Hope, our school for disabled children, because our school has had to move, and the house that we live in with some of the crisis care children also had to move because the Chinese business people are moving to our area and rents are tripling, and our landlords decided they wanted to upgrade their houses and charge 3 times as much rent, so we had to leave. We had to be out by February 1st, so we had less than 2 weeks to get it done, and so Lina's Hope had already moved, the school had already moved, but the home that we share with the children in crisis had not yet moved, so we had to move them all out by February 1st. These are the children in crisis care are children who children who come to Lina's Hope every day, but they may not have parents. They may have been abandoned. They may be coming from abusive situations where their parents tried to kill them or purposefully starve them, or their parents live far away in another province that's 6 to 8 hours away, and so they stay here part of the time. So we currently have 11 kids in our nighttime care program. Here's one of them. This is Cal. Cal is 15. He's been with us for 2 years. Cal is autistic, and he was, when we met him, he was being chained with a bicycle chain in a hut in the countryside with no clothes, no toys, and just a meal a day because he's autistic and his parents didn't know how to handle him. His parents live in another province. His father's in trouble with the law for sexual abuse and running from police, and ran to another country, and his mom, we don't know where she is. So these are some of the situations of kids that we take care of at nighttime and on weekends so that they can go to Lina's Hope every day. Most of our kids, though, do have parents, and they go home to their parents each night, but these kids, these 11 kids, live here with us or with their moms. We have 2 moms who live with us who we pay to take care of their child and do therapy for their child every day at Lina's Hope. So it's actually 12 people, 10 kids, sorry. Anyways, so how are we going to fit us and all of them into one building? Well, we decided to rent a hotel, which is very strange. It's actually the cheapest thing we could find. It's a 12-bedroom hotel guest house that we decided to rent for $700 a month. Cheapest thing we could find, and it was really run down when we first moved in. It was really disheartening because it was the walls were black, the paint was peeling, it was this yucky pale yellow. Things are broken. It's a guest house that hadn't been kept up for very long, hadn't been taken care of. So we had to raise funds for paint. We had to scrub and scrub and scrub the 12 rooms, paint them, move everybody, move us, get everybody and everything settled into their new house, all by February 1st. And but God helped us with people who came and donated paint, people who came and helped us paint, and we were able to do it. So we thank God for that. And now we're focusing on building relationships again with the children and the staff, and finding out where they are spiritually. We have some young adults who come to Lina's Hope every day who are really growing in their faith in God, and were recently baptized, which I'll show you next week in our next video. And some of our staff were recently baptized and are following the Lord, and we just want to catch up with them and make sure they're all being mentored and discipled and growing in Christ. And also we want to find out where some of the parents are and some of the other staff are spiritually, and to share the gospel with them if God has prepared their heart, if they're ready for it. So those are 2 of our goals. Also, my goal in the next month will be to evaluate all the children and all the therapy plans that we have, because each child has their own individual therapy plan, and to evaluate the kids, how they're doing, and to update those plans. And one more thing that's on our agenda this month is rebuilding our therapy equipment that has been eaten by termites. And another thing is that includes a lot of wood stuff, including like a parallel bars and a crawling track and things that we need to use every day for the kids. But it also includes a swimming pool. Hydrotherapy is one of the most important parts of therapy that we can do for our children, especially children with really tight muscles. We had one at the other house that we built into the ground, but when we had to leave that house, we had to leave that hot water therapy pool behind. And so it's been a challenge, and it's taken us a while to figure out how we're going to do it, how we're going to make a hydrotherapy pool. So we came up with a jacuzzi, which is small, but it gives us the hot water effect for the kids who have really tight muscles. And then in the next few days, we're going to be buying a swimming pool, a large swimming pool. It's about 7 meters, to put for the kids who need to be able to move around for their therapy. So they can move around so much better and so much more independently in the pool without gravity pulling them down. And so these are 2 very important parts. So these things are very important in the next month. We're also trying to focus on prayer and seeking God, like how can we use prayer in our daily ministry, in our daily lives, and in the neighborhood, and also getting to know our neighbors a little bit, and finding out how can we reach out to our new neighbors. So more on that later, but I want to show you inside right now. It's nighttime. It's 6 o'clock. And we've come back home. All the kids that we take care of at night have come back home from Lina's Hope. And right now Hiep is reading a Bible story to them and praying with them. And then there's a little playtime. Then they'll all have dinner. And then they will take showers and wash their clothes, because we don't have a washing machine, and then be tucked into bed. And for all of these, all the kids are on different levels of independence, but we encourage them to do as much for themselves as they can, and to learn to be as independent as possible, which takes more time than just doing it ourselves. But all the kids have to bathe themselves and feed themselves as much as they can with help, and wash their own clothes. And that's different degrees for each kid, but each kid is on a different level. Some can do it almost completely on their own with just us telling them, and other kids, they can just barely use their hands, but we help them. So I'll show you inside and introduce you to the kids. Hello.
Hello. This is Cow. Janti.
How old is Cal?
Oh, Cow. He's 15 years old. Janti. She's 15. Oh,
She's
sorry,
30
years old.
30 years old. This is Sui Mian. Sui Mian is 11 years old. And this is Samang. Samang is 4 years old, and her mom, who lives here with us. And this is Sarah, our daughter. And this is Samang. Samang is 8 years old. And here's Marcos. Marcos is maybe 7 or 8. We're not really sure. And this is Lekana. Lekana is 5 years old, and her mom, who lives with us. And there's Sambo. He's our son. And don't forget Sapana. There's Sapana. Sapana is 11 or 12 years old. Not really sure. She's our daughter. And a little sister running around, who lives with us with her big sister.
Not too old. Chàng.
So this is our new family, and maybe in future videos we will tell you a little story and history of each child and where they're coming from and how they're doing in daily life and the progress they're making and how they're doing in their walk with God. So until next time, we'll see you all. Bye bye from Cambodia.
Bye.
Bye.